Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today's video is a little bit special because we're not going to really be doing much. Instead, I'm going to be giving a tour of the world currently, which is definitely going to be a lot bigger than my last tour because I added a lot more stuff. But it's New Year's Eve day for me, so this will be coming out tomorrow or the next day, somewhere around that point, and it will be the new year. It will be 2025, and this is just kind of to wrap a end of the year review in a way, you know, to see what I've done so far, what we've gotten done, what has been added, what has been created, and what will be created and added in the future. I just thought that it would be fun to kind of go through and see everything because I definitely did add a lot of stuff this year, and I don't even think I've been playing on this world for a full year. Let's just get into this tour. So I'm gonna just do an overview of everything, even if I showed it in the last tour before. So this is the house. This is the starter house, the house that I first built when I started this world and first started really building in beta. I played it before on a different mod pack, but I kind of gave in to the very crappy looking buildings, the blocky buildings made out of nothing but glass and cobblestone. And those are cool. I really like those, and I do think that they're pretty. But this is one where I actually tried to make it look a bit more modern and a bit more put together with an interior and stuff. So we've got carpet and chairs and bookcases, which are so much more easier to make in this version. Oh my goodness, books are so easy to make. It's ridiculous. And you've got a couple paintings and all that. Just super cute. I still sleep in this house. I'm still like stationed here every so often. This is where I keep a lot of my valuables, if I have valuables, which clearly I don't right now. And this is what it looks like on the outside. I didn't want to change it at all as I updated the world and went on, because I wanted it to be like something that, just a reminder of where I started, especially when it came to building. And I think I've definitely improved when it came to the building in this version of the game. But because this area is pretty small of an area in my opinion. Technically, we're going, I guess, to the right of the building? No, this would be the left. Whatever it is, we have my very first farm building. I knew that animals could stomp on your crops and kind of ruin them. And this was before I knew about the little trick that you can do on farmland where you can put a fence underneath the farmland. It's a bit glitchy, but you can put a fence underneath the farmland. So the farmland is kind of invincible. I don't know why it does that, why it glitches out like that, but if there's a fence post under the farmland, you can't break it unless you actually, like, hit it. So, yeah, bit useless. Bit of a tiny farm just to get started, but I've also kept it because I think it's so cute. And it's a cute, like, little thing, you know? I don't want to repurpose it. I think it's adorable. So over here is a later addition to this area, and this is the updated house. I wanted to make an updated, more decorated house, but to be honest, I never go in this house. I never do. I don't have storage in this house. It's pretty far from my storage, and it's just not really something I go in very often, but it was still very fun to make. So when you walk in, you go to the left. This is kind of a living space. TV in a way, like maybe it's the news or something, broadcaster, and you've got like stuff right here. And we've also got this bookcase. I thought it was so cute putting ladders on the side, kind of like hide the books a little bit, make it a little bit more like that's the bookcase, not the whole thing's a bookcase. We've got some very simple lamps in here, and this is like a little disco, or not disco, but like music area. I always wanted to put one of these, and of course the only 2 music discs that we have available. This is my kitchen, and I'm very proud of this kitchen. I don't normally build interiors. Whoopsie. I don't normally build interiors in any version of the game. It's not something that I'm very good at, even if I want to get better at it. It's just not something that I do very well, in my opinion. And so this was so much fun to do because this version is so fun in the way that because you have a limited block palette, you can be more creative, or it forces you to get more creative with what you do, and at the same time you are limited in what you can do. So it kind of forces you to be creative, but also can't do too much. You kind of just have to use your imagination. And this is a fridge. Got some stuff in here, not in here, but some stuff in here for the fridge, and I just wanted to test it out. So if you click that, okay, let's get rid of that. Click that and it gives you what you need to oh goodness. Okay, again, I don't really go here, so I don't really do this stuff a lot. And then right here we have a desk, so I'm not sure what this was supposed to be. I'm thinking maybe like a closed cabinet, but I thought this was a cute looking little desk. It's adorable in my opinion. A bookshelf, another bookshelf, and a bed. I really didn't know what to do up here. One thing that I have to say is that I'm really bad at open concept, which unless you're making a huge building, I feel like it's way better to have open concept in this version, or at least maybe that's just me and that's just what I'm used to. But at the same time of me not knowing what to do, I'm fine with not knowing, because I really early on wanted to delve into that very, like, it's not that good looking, it's not very creative in a way, it's very simple in what is being placed, like an older, more nostalgic vibe. And more recently I have been trying to branch out of that. But this is this like little balcony out here, so we can just sit here and look at things, and I really do like this view. I don't come up here very often because I'm so busy working on other projects that I just never really come up here. So that was this house all seen and done. And going over to the left of the house when you're exiting, it's a little dirt path, the best I could make it, to the mine, and also this out of use currently mob spawner. So this is great, like in the beginning when you need like something quick. This is from an Ethos Lab tutorial from many years ago, but I'm pretty sure this still works and this isn't broken. Like you can still use it, updated versions, and it worked very good for when I needed it, but now I don't need it anymore. So the plan with this is to take it down and hopefully free up some space for the house to just exist as the house does, because it's so close to the house. I built the house after I built this, and I didn't expect it to be as big as I needed it to be, so I kind of just went ahead and did it the way like this. In fact, this was supposed to extend outward. This top part of the house was supposed to go all the way out over here, but I wasn't able to do that because of this mob spawner right here, or this mob farm, I guess. And over here is the mine. It's not much of anything special. It goes all the way down to diamond mining level, so that would be level 12. And there's not much of anything special about this. Is just a mine, but I'll go down it anyways just to show you. And it's getting dark outside, so we can sleep in here. Actually, that's a very good thing. So this is how the mine is set up. It's very inefficient. Okay, I'm just gonna be honest. I don't know if I have bad luck, but I've seen posts of people saying like, oh, all I need is like 1 diamond pick and I can like have double the diamond picks when I go mining. Like just use 1 full diamond pick for an entire row, and like I can normally resupply myself with a ton more diamonds, you know? I can't do that. I don't know if it's just the area in which I have this set up, but this whole like bottom level, because this was not my original mine. My original mine was in a mountain where my big house is. I took that mountain down and I built the big house, and I put this mine here. But for some reason, I cannot find diamonds for the life of me. I'm always running out of diamonds. It's always a struggle. I always barely have enough, and it doesn't matter how many holes I make, how many tunnels I tunnel. I will never be able to find as many as I need. And maybe I'm doing it inefficiently. I don't know. It's bad. I don't know how to explain it. I did notice with this design that the staircase kind of took away a lot of mining spots for me. So I did dig out over here and dig out some mining spots for me to mine in the future. But yeah, that was just me. And we got some little holes in the wall that I need to patch up because I went getting some ores and all that. So going back over to the original house, we're going to be crossing this pond, and we'll go over there when we get to that section. But this pond used to be a big open lake that went across like all over there, and then I just had a ton of dirt from like doing a ton of terraforming. A lot of this area over here is very flat because I like flat terrain, I really do. And the little hills and mountains over here in this version, they're not that big as I'm looking at a big mountain, but normally they're about this size and a little bit smaller, and they're just easier to take down. And I actually find it quite a relaxing thing. Some people like to tear down trees. I like to tear down mountains. And so I had a lot of extra dirt filled in the space because I needed good, quick, flat land. And I decided to just leave a pond here. So I've got this pond here with this little bench that's been here since that mountain used to be here. And it's just a cute like little area. Sometimes there are squids in this pond, which I guess is nice, marine life. But over here, this section, this right here is my cactus farm, which isn't a very good cactus farm. I'm telling you, I built this and then never used it. Maybe I harvested a couple of cacti, but I didn't really care for it this much. There's a lot of opportunity for the cactus to kind of die or kill on itself. It would be way better if I had an automated farm, and now this is just kind of here for like just to look pretty. It just looks pretty. It's like, oh yeah, that's a cactus farm. Oh wow, it's just pretty, and it doesn't ever get used. But nonetheless, I really do like this building, and I was very proud of this farm building when I built it. I think it is very, it seems very nostalgic to me, and it's also very pretty to me. I really do love it. So I'm gonna go down here because this is also a quick little pathway. This, I initially just built a pathway down to this dock, and then I was like, well, there's so much open space, I want to fill it up. So right here, I thought it would be so much fun to do a little big piece of farmland, and this was my first really big piece of farmland that I ever put down. I think for this area, this is the biggest piece of farmland. So it takes a lot for farmland that you want to kind of stay there and look pretty, because you're going to need fences underneath every single one of these blocks, like I stated before for the farm over there. So every time you see a piece of farmland, there's always a fence underneath that farmland. If it's like just the farmland itself, or if it has wheat on it, there's always a ton of fences underneath it. And fences in this version you only make with sticks, so you have to have a ton of sticks. There's a little pond here too, just keep like a little miniature pond. This farmhouse is not very much furnished. There is wheat in here because sometimes I do harvest this so that I can have more seeds for other farmlands if I need them. So that's just what that is. And this is just cute like little area. I would make this look a lot better. I might come back at some point and kind of decorate the little areas right there, add some like extra clutter to kind of be more immersive. But at the time that I made this, I was kind of just focused on making the building itself and keeping it very simple and put together. And so that's what I did here. And then down over here, this is a sushi bar. So I was thinking about the little like vacations to tropical places and like beaches and stuff, and they always have like a bar. Well, I'm thinking, because I've never actually been, I'm getting this information from movies that I've watched, but there's always like a little tropical bar that sells drinks, and I thought that it would be so cute if I made a sushi bar. Now, I actually, not lying when I'm telling you, I tried to make this look a little bit more in the style of a sushi bar, a lot more Japanese inspired architecture. I don't think I did a very good job. I really couldn't put as much detail as I wanted to. And this was when I was first starting to kind of express more detail in my builds, and this was a very, very, very early build. So I couldn't do as much as I thought that I could do, and I didn't make it give the vibe as much as I wanted it to give the vibe of it being more of a Japanese inspired building. So there are prices on here for fish and pig. I don't know why I added pig. It's the only other food, so I thought, oh yeah, just put them in here. And sushi's raw, so the stuff is raw. This, I think, is just because I had an unbelievable extra amount of pig meat, or pork chops, I guess. There's more stuff I want to do with this beach. I'm pretty sure this beach was here last time, but this sandcastle has been here, of course, since then. So I think when it gets to be a bit warmer outside, I'll have more inspiration to add to the beach area. But for the time being, I haven't really added much. I do want to note that I am incredibly proud of these palm trees. I just have to say it. I'm very proud of these palm trees. I outdid myself here, okay? This is I still think this is my favorite custom tree that I've built here. This is just awesome to me. I love the way that they look, and they add so much, and I want to add some more, like more of them along the edge of the beach. I just think that they look so nice. I really do like them so much. And we've got the dock over here as well. This is just something I built because I thought, you know, every Minecraft world has a dock somewhere. So I built one. It's not that most like fantastical. This glitches so bad. Don't do this, okay? I thought this would be so cute because it's like, oh, it's not waterlogged, but it's like you're transitioning into the water slowly. No, it's glitchy and I don't like it, and it breaks my boats, so don't do that. I don't know why it does, but it does. And this little area right here is for fishing. So I've got a fishing rod right here and some boats, but I don't ever come over here and fish. I just don't ever feel like fishing. And I should also note the land in front of this dock. At some point, I hope to probably build something there very late into this world's creation, where I'm got a lot more farms that I can handle a lot better, and I can just get resources a lot quicker and easier. Because right now it's just a simple little island. I love the way it looks. It's really cute to me, but I use it for resources. You can definitely see there that very like weird wall. I just am mining things over there and taking sand and gravel whenever I need it, because I don't ever go over there. But someday it will be pretty. Someday it will be very pretty. So this is the first real big and tall building I built, and I built it because lighthouses are very important to me. I didn't grow up near lighthouses, but I had a family member that really loved lighthouses, and they passed away when I was very young. That was my grandmother, and she always had lighthouses, like little lighthouse buildings. She had like lighthouse cases for her books and stuff, and I just thought, you know, it just means something to me. So I thought I'll build a lighthouse, and I really do. I love it. I think it's great. I love this. It's such a simple and kind of ugly lighthouse. It's literally, it's just a stick. It's just a stick in the ground with a base. It actually, now that I think about it, it's a little questionable looking. I might have to change that. Okay. But yeah, I love this lighthouse. There's nothing in here except a bed. So if we go up all of these rooms, there's nothing in here. Didn't add anything in here. It was so small, and again, it was an early game thing, and its only use to me was so that I could look out at my world here, and if you're able to, or if I get a screenshot, I can show you the difference of how it looked, the before and after of all of the changes since the world tour and everything that's happened since then. And it's just a crazy change. I've added it. I haven't actually felt like I've added a lot, but I have added a lot of stuff. This was in the last episode, so I'm not going to go too crazy of going over there also because, oh, okay. It's kind of a bit of a travel, and I don't have a boat. Well, I could have gotten a boat, I could have traveled, but I chose not to. This was a holiday island I wanted to make. It's a little abrasive, a little obtrusive to just kind of see it in the like little skyline here, I guess. But you know what? I like it. It's so ugly in a way. Like, if it's not Christmas time, it's ugly to look at with it surrounding everything else. But if it's Christmas time, it's like, oh hey, like little Christmas island, that's cute. And it reminded me a lot of Flapjack. If anybody's watched that show like growing up, just the weird like candy islands and like just weird islands in the middle of the ocean surrounded by like nothing. That's what inspired that. 100%. So this is also I think maybe the second thing I built on this world, which is my storage shed. Thought it would be fun to build a storage shed. Be cute. All the... It basically has the same amount of storage as it did before, except I'm adding... I have so much dirt and so much cobblestone. It's an insane amount, but I don't mind. I don't mind, because that much dirt and cobblestone will go very quickly. This is also an early building. I called this a speed dating house around the time that I made it, because you know, it kind of looks like maybe it's a cafe on the inside, but then there's nothing to buy. There's no area to buy drinks at, and then if you go upstairs, it's like a place where you sit and have like an interview, you know? So I just thought, oh, maybe it's like speed dating. So like they get done with their speed dating and then they just group up here with the like coordinator or the person who sets up the whole dating thing, and they just have a chat or something. I don't know. Maybe it's like therapy, like group therapy or something. I don't know. But I thought it was a cute little house. I definitely think I could build better. I wanted to kind of do something out of my comfort zone a little bit with the colors and put netherrack on there because, well, you know, I never thought about adding certain blocks together in this game, but they can actually fit, and I thought that these are both red, so maybe they go together. And so I tried it, and I think that they're not too bad. They're not too bad. It could be better, but it's not too bad. And this is my nether portal. I wanted to have something simple here. I didn't want to cover up the nether portal and make it kind of in the terrain like I would normally do. So instead, I took the nether terrain and I brought it out here. So it's surrounded a little bit by netherrack, and the nether isn't that important of an area. I don't have anything built in there. It's just kind of destroyed looking. I mean, I have a cobblestone box surrounding my nether portal, but that is the only actual building in there. And so it's kind of grading out on the pathway, and you can see some of this is just stone, and I equivalent that to the heat of the netherrack. I'm assuming netherrack is going to be quite a hot block, especially near the portal. So maybe the heat of the netherrack initially being here kind of caused these parts of the street to melt a little bit and change in texture. So this is a gas station that I built because I wanted to build a gas station. That's it. I just wanted to build a gas station. Really nothing else. I just wanted to build one. Built a little car. I think this is a cute little car. I'm just gonna be honest, I think it's adorable. I love it. And as well, this is supposed to be like one of those like bulky ice machines you find outside of gas stations sometimes. This is obviously, or maybe it's not obvious, that would suck. But this is supposed to be the actual gas stuff, the gas pump. So this over here is a trash can. So this is supposed to be like a garbage can, go out, take out the garbage. And this, I look at it all the time when I'm walking past it. And I think about it all the time. It's always in my mind. It's an air conditioning unit. Air conditioning unit. I think it's so cute. I don't know. It's so simple, but I just absolutely love this thing. I love it. I think it's so adorable. So on the inside of the gas station, it's very small. I needed to add some light because it was so dark in here. so I had to do it in the floor. Because gas stations, they kind of have that weird fluorescent lighting that's so... it can be okay, but sometimes it's a little nauseating. So we've got shelves here, and they look empty because, well, they're just stairs. But shelves here, and some shelves here. That could be a shelf as well. This is the counter for the cashier, and, you know, check you out, all that type of stuff. And this is supposed to be drinks. They're books, but I wanted it to give the impression that it was like drinks, like cooled drinks and all that. So that's why I put that there, just to give the impression of it. Again, all these interiors are built and nobody ever really goes inside them because it's just me and I don't have a need to go inside them. So they're just built for, I guess, an extra added immersion. There's a little bench, so super cute. And this is my first little tree farm. It still works. I use it a lot. It's a good tree farm. It's not bad at all. Good tree farm. Very good. And this is supposed to be my smelting factory. I made it look like a factory because I was just very inspired by a lot of factory motifs at the time, and I thought it would be super cool. So we've got like these huge industrial furnaces here that let out all this toxic air and stuff, which is not good for the Minecraft environment. But this area, this little space, it took such a long time to build because of the bricks. I hate getting bricks. I hate getting a lot of things. I'm not a fan of resource gathering. Just not a fan of it. But bricks are something special. They're specialty hate for just bricks. Got some crafting benches in case you need to use them. And these chests are supposed to be filled with lava buckets. But it has been a while since I've actually come over here and done any, like, smelting. Because I've always needed like small scale smelting and smelting at places that are far away from this one. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to come all the way over here to smelt and take the same time to smelt when I could be smelting in a different area. This, we're not going to be going down right now, so we're going to save this spot for later, but this is a little rail station here and pathway towards spawn. So I did not spawn over here, I traveled over here, and there was a few times where my game would glitch and I'd like join the game, but I'd be back at spawn and my inventory would be wiped. So I'm not sure, it was something to do with the skin changing. I went to go change my skin to make it look like this or something similar to it, and something about that caused my entire character to just wipe. No inventory. Just back at spawn, kind of wipe. Everything was still here in the world, but everything in my inventory was gone, and my character was back at spawn. So I don't know what that was about, but there's stuff over there, and we'll look at it later. So this was here last tour, I'm pretty sure. That was not there. We'll get to that in a bit. Let's do this little last bit. I think this was the last little bit of what was here in the last tour. So this is the park. I love this park. It's one of the first little, mostly natural kind of areas that I built where there was a lot of natural foliage and an emphasis on the fauna. So it's very simple, but I love it. So we have a fountain right here. Every park should have a little fountain. It's super cute. There's a big old bench right here. Big old bench. And right over here is a picnic table. So this guy right here was not my original idea. I had somebody comment on a video suggesting that I should put a little dude in the park. So, because that guy, he commented so much about it, I decided I'll put a little dude in the park and he can be eating this cake that I put here. So, little dude is in the park. And right here we have like a playground. Real simple. That's supposed to be a swing set. But obviously you can't show like the lines of the swing set, but that's what it's supposed to be. And this is kind of like a merry-go-round where you kind of get on with your friends and like fling off of it by going too fast. And then this is a slide. Super cute. This is a little sand pit. I had a couple of parks growing up where they had like a separate area that was just a sand pit. I have no clue what that was about. I'm sure that's just for like kids enrichment, but it would seriously just be like 2 full-on parks, but one was just completely made out of sand. Like no swings, nothing, just sand. And it was a big area, way bigger than that. So, oh yeah. I forgot to mention, okay, it was a little bit hidden, but at this house that I built, I needed to add a little something extra to it because it's a big old house, you know? So I decided to add a little pool. Just a pool. I may have made this during the summer or like the last little bit of summer, but this is just like a little pool for the house, you know? Super fun. Just really, that's it. It's just a pool. So this building is a club building. This was fun to make. I remember it was a bit taxing because of the obsidian. I did not mine this obsidian. It is way more efficient because of how long it takes to mine stuff with enchanted tools to just get buckets of lava and make obsidian. So that's what I did. I just went back and forth a bunch of times to get buckets of lava and to put it all around here and to cure it. So it was fun. So this is a fun little club building. To be completely honest with you, my inspiration of this building is actually the club from Robloxian High School. If anybody plays Roblox, it was so memorable to me. Cute little club. Also, I think clubs are so much fun to build. It's like, let's build this really dark room with a ton of bright like colors on the floor. That's fun. And we've also got this little DJ area. Super fun, super cute. And we have a secret area. I showed the secret area in the last one, but it is a very, 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 very secret area that we shouldn't look at because it's so secret. So down this pathway, we have a change in path, and that's because this was annoying to make. This was just straight up annoying. So every single one of these, you cannot place these blocks on the top. You cannot. You just can't. It's impossible. You can't do it. Unless there's a block underneath it. So you have to place a slab underneath it. Whoopsie. You have to place a slab underneath it to get a top slab. Annoying. So all of these are double. They're all double. But it's a very pretty pathway. I really do like this pathway. It just at the time, I did not have the expendable resources to always be getting gravel and stone in the way that I was. So I changed it to sand and wood because that was a lot easier to get. So from this point on, the buildings that I'm going to show you have actual episodes to them. So there is a playlist. I will put a link to the playlist that I have made. You can also go on my channel and look at the playlist tab to find it. But it is of all of my beta episodes that I've made on this world. And my world tour, my first one that I did of this world, started those episodes. So everything that I've shown you, for the most part, has been in that world tour so far. Some things weren't in there, like I don't think the mob spawner was there, but it could have been. That house wasn't there. The mob spawner and the house weren't there. The mine wasn't there. And I don't think that big old building right there was there. Maybe it was. I don't know. There's some things that were there, some things that weren't. But it was very much lacking in a lot. So this is a pathway I made for another farm. I needed some spruce wood, and my other farm wasn't able to grow the spruce wood appropriately, so I made this one, but it doesn't grow it very efficiently, so it's just kind of here. But I really do like this like little lumber yard that I made, and I love it a lot more than I like that one. That one's very simple, but this one is very built up, and I had a lot of fun making it, putting all this lumber out here, and this was a lot of fun to make. I thought it was so cute, and I got my saplings in here. So yeah, that's what that is. And this building right here is also a farm. It is a mushroom farm. I haven't been in here a while, so the mushrooms are pretty much all grown. But I just kind of thought I don't really need mushrooms, but I thought it would be fun to make a mushroom farm. So I kind of just made a mushroom farm, and I made it look like a cafe. So that's what this is supposed to simulate. It's supposed to kind of look like a cafe. And those are supposed to be like, they're either supposed to be advertisements or like windows in a weird way. So I don't know. Because you can't put windows in the actual mushroom farm because the mushrooms won't grow. So I just kind of put those up and I thought, oh, those look cool. And this right here is a butcher shop. It didn't look like a butcher shop from the outside when I first made it. So a few episodes ago, I think, I added some bacon on top of it just because I was starting to get annoyed. I was like, this does not look like a butcher shop from the outside. There are no tells that it's a butcher shop. So I'm just going to put a piece of raw bacon on the outside of it. And yeah, I don't know what happened here, but I think something must have glitched because this was all messed up when I came to look at it and do like a little overview so that I could get prepared for this, but I didn't have materials I needed to put them down, and I think I must have forgotten because I just left it like that. But that's supposed to be a floor. Okay, just imagine it's there. And here we have this like little counter for the butcher shop and, you know, some stuff. And right here we have the actual meat freezer. So we've got some like that stuff which I've added for extra lighting, but also might have some meat inside of it. So we've got this meat freezer here. And that's just a little butcher shop. There's no real reason for it to exist aside from the fact that I wanted to make it. So I did. And maybe this isn't the best transition, but this is the pet shop. So yeah, this is the pet shop. I'm very proud of this building. I love the way that it looks on the outside, and there's nothing on the inside. This is one of the very few buildings where I did not build an interior at all, except I do have some doggies in here because I thought, well, it is a pet shop. You should put some puppies in here. So they just kind of chill in here. It's a bit weird, a bit lonely, but I didn't know what to put in here. Maybe I will add an interior at some other point, but for the time being, I did not have an idea of what to put in there. And this, I have to mention this because this is actually important for my little mental development of this world. This right here is a custom forest that I put over here because there wasn't enough room for buildings, but there was enough room for foliage, and this was my first custom forest. I love this so much. I love the way that this looks. These are all custom trees that I kind of put up and built, some like fallen trees and bushes and rocks. I'm very proud of this little forest of mine. It was my first one that I did, and it took a little bit to kind of understand what I was going to do for it, what was going on with it, but I love it. I just love, 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 love it. It's so pretty to me. So this big building right here that you may have seen in the background is supposed to be kind of like a liminal building. I kind of built it in a liminal way, and its initial purpose was to overlook the entire town from a high view because that was a little bit too far away. The lighthouse, when I began to expand, everything over here just started to be a little bit too far. So I thought I need an updated tower, something that I can kind of climb up on and take a big look from, like, you know, stations. So we walk up all these stairs, which is actually a pretty quick walk. You can see all the things that we haven't looked at yet and all the things that we have looked at. So this is what we have looked at from an aerial view, and this is kind of closer to a center of town. And I just love I love coming up here sometimes and just looking at things that I've built and what's just happening here, because you know, it's when you're in it, you don't always, at least for me, and I play this world all the time, I don't always remember exactly how everything's laid out and where everything is, because I take my like designated pathways that are quick and easy. I don't go on these pathways. If I'm over there and I'm building something, I'm just gonna go straight over because that's where I can get my storage stuff, or I bring my storage all the way over there so I don't even have to walk over here, because you know, you can't sprint in this version. And there's a lot of things that you can't do, so you kind of have to like bring things with you. But I love coming up here sometimes and just looking at everything that's here, you know, the things that I know were here before anything else, and the very new additions of the things that were put over here. And I can see the improvement, you know, looking over at this spot where I first started and then looking over here. I see a lot of improvement, and I'm very happy about that. It makes me very proud. So this floor down here used to be completely empty. It was just carpet. But recently, I decided to add a railroad system, but I didn't want to add it up top. I thought it would make things look a little bit too cluttered. So we have an underground one. Built this cute little room here, and we've currently got 2 stations, station 1 and 2. And because these kind of are the only ones that fit here, they're going to be the only stations. They'll just like divide at some points and like have pit stops in some areas. So station 1 and 2 both lead to mob spawners. This one leads to a spider spawner, and this one leads to a skeleton spawner. They're a bit far away. The spider one is not that far away, but I built it there and I got those spawners. And I will be completely honest with you, I had a resource pack. I used an x-ray to get those spawners because I could not find them for the life of me, and even then it took me like 5 hours to find that skeleton spawner. Maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration. It was probably more like 2.5, but that's still a long time for a spawner. A lot of people, they put on the kind of like entity tips where you, or like tool tips or something, where you can see the actual name tag of the entities, and I could do that. I'm also on peaceful, but I definitely could do that. The thing is that there is nothing. Like, I don't use x-ray to mine. I don't like it. I actually enjoy the mining process of just strip mining and going like mineless for a little bit. I don't use x-ray for that stuff. Never used x-ray before, except for getting these spawners, because I just could not find them. I swear to you, there's quite a few spawners underground. They're mostly spider and zombie, but for the life of me, I could not find a spawner whatsoever. And I needed it to be more efficient in how I got bone meal, and also how I will get wool in the future. So I thought that for the betterment of the buildings and videos and my own sanity, I would go ahead and take that little cheaty moment and go ahead find those spawners. So I did, and I think the skeleton spawner is all built up, but the spider one isn't. So this is the first shop building I ever built, I'm pretty sure. I might, yeah, I'm pretty sure. And this is a boutique. It's a purple boutique. These are supposed to be clothing racks here. But this is also where I found out a very interesting glitch with pressure plates. So I was building this counter, and at first I was going to have like a double chest, or like a chest and 2 pressure plates next to each other. You can't do that. Don't know what it is about fences and pressure plates, because normally you cannot put pressure plates on fences in beta, but because of this mod pack I'm using back to beta, you can, but it's glitchy. So if you put them right beside each other, they duplicate. So you can just duplicate them. You can just dupe them all day long if you want. I've got way too many pressure plates somewhere. I don't even know where they all are, but they're somewhere. And this is my first big train station that I built. And I'm so proud of this little building. It's so simple now that I'm looking at it, but it was my first time building something like this. I would have probably lowered it just by a block if I had to rebuild it. But this train station goes out to the desert. I'm going to show you these buildings first so that I can get into the other stuff. So this is a flower shop. 2 flowers in the game only, but I still built this flower shop. And you might think this is extremely ugly, because it is. And also, if to some of you, it could be familiar, because it is actually the flower shop from My Sims. I love My Sims. I built this like a few months, maybe I don't know how many months, but a little bit before My Sims was announced to be coming out on the Switch, which I still haven't gotten. Annoys me. Just annoys me. I absolutely love My Sims, and I grew up playing My Sims all the time, and oh my god, I loved and hated this flower shop. Loved and hated it. it's so simple in here. Not really much is in here. There's a bed, you know, kind of signify that it's being slept in and all that. It's so cute. I love it. It's adorable. I love it. And this is an art studio. Now I built this to house all of the dye that I would collect because I wanted to kind of spread out my storage in a way so that I'd kind of come back. I didn't actually put the dye in here. But these are like little easels. So we've got easels with paintings just sitting on them. And this is like one of those cabinets. You might even see the cabinet like this in like art class if like you're in school, where it keeps all the like dirty art supplies with all the paint over it. And I just wanted to build a little studio just to kind of house some things. And I really like this building. I think it's so cute. It's adorable. I really do love it. So now we're going to take a look at all of this stuff, and it's all kind of interconnected with each other. So this right here is a little subscriber and commenter nameplate area where I can put your name down if you want your name to be written down. So if anybody's watching this and they do want their name written down, it is 16 characters per row. So if your name is bigger than 16 characters, it's no issue. It will just be separated into 2 lines. So that's really all that is. I just wanted to say that. Also, little shout out here to the little park dude, Mr. Mudkip. He suggested it, so they suggested it so much, and so I thought, okay, yes, I'll put the little park dude, and so little park dude gets to be on there with his sign. I hope and I pray that your names are appropriate, of course. I hope so. If you want your name put down, it will be double checked, maybe just maybe. But also it's kind of funny knowing that I don't know what some of these are. For example, Depog Lord. What could that mean in a different language? Probably something evil. I'm just joking with that one. But here's a little bridge to get to the other side so you don't have to cross the road. And this is very special to me. This is my 100 subscriber monument statue. I built this when I reached 100 subscribers this year, and it's very important to me. I wanted to build something big for every very big milestone, so like 100, 500, 1,000. So right now I only have 2 statues because I think currently I'm at like 700 and a half, 750, almost about 750 subs right now. So it's insane to me, the amount of growth that I've had this year. I feel like it's been quick, but not too quick. It's like steady, and I'm very appreciative of it, and it does mean so much to me as well, because I was for a while just making videos to no one. Like nobody was watching. And I was fine with that. I was like, you know what? If I have to make videos to no one, that's perfectly fine with me, because I just really like making these. I think it's fun to, you know, have like little progress updates on my world and all that. So that's what I was doing. And then some people started watching when I did my world tour for this video, and it just felt really nice to get replies and comments on the things that I was doing, and it felt so much more special building everything. And up there you can barely see the sign, but that was for 200 subs, because I was feeling so lucky, and I just wanted to build like a little, it's supposed to be a birthday hat, but it looks very much like a wizard's hat, which is my mistake. It's a dirt block with a wizard's hat, I guess. But this next statue, I know I'm ignoring this obviously huge building for a reason, but this next statue is my 500 subscriber monument. So I kind of wanted to keep to a very Minecraft theme with this, and I built a sword because I thought, well, swords look cool, and they look even cooler when they're in the ground. So I built a sword. So we've got these like very manicured trees. I wanted this area to look very like put together, very manicured, so I put the same trees in a row. And with this too, at night these kind of light up because there's glowstone at the bottom. This doesn't, because I didn't have enough glowstone, and I have yet to come back and to do that. But this is so special to me. And you can see the time difference. That was actually, I reached 100 subs on my birthday of all things. I think it was my birthday because I checked the day after my birthday and it was over 100, so I kind of just assumed. And that was so special. I had a very mid birthday. You know, sometimes you have birthdays where it's like, nothing really feels too special, but that felt so special, and it was so nice to get that. And I can't explain my feelings about how special it felt now, and I couldn't explain it back then very well either. And during October we reached 500, and now it's the beginning of the year and I'm at 750, and it's just special to me. It just is so amazing. I love it. And I love this. I think the statue is very nice. So this big building right here is a museum. I spent a couple of days building this museum, a couple of episodes, because it was very big. And I will never build anything completely out of sand again, because this was so annoying to collect. It was so incredibly annoying. It looks so good. The payoff is great. I love how it looks, but it was so annoying. So the inside is it's not even a full museum. It's just of the blocks and items that I wanted to show off. So I definitely wanted to use soul sand so that you can look at everything slowly. We're not going to do that for this because we don't want this to be too long of a tour. But I've got all of these ores here. So I had to use pistons to push them in. It actually didn't take as long as I thought it would. So it was actually not that long. And over here we've got the full-size blocks and these 2 blocks. I never used TNT, so I thought, why not? And mossy cobblestone is pretty rare, so I thought, why not as well? And over here we have all of the wool colors. I just think they're real nice. It was fun to go and get all of these colors and dyes because I hadn't done that before. And this is a cute like little chandelier. I love the way it looks. And this room is the painting room. Now some of these paintings, specifically this one down here, is a repeat painting because that was supposed to be the wither painting, but the wither painting didn't get added, of course, until after the wither was added to the game, and which totally slipped my mind. But all of the paintings and the names of the paintings are here, just kind of chilling. I really love this room. I also want to do some type of like pretty lit up mosaic in a way on the ceiling, just to make it look a little bit more crazy and like beautiful. So, and we've got glass on this ceiling up here to add some natural lighting. I just really love it. I think it's a very nice little spot. The desert over here is completely the same as it was before because I just didn't add anything to it. I didn't feel inspiration to go out and build something. I might be getting inspiration soon because I've been kind of feeling it, but I'm not sure. And it looks real ugly right now, but if you want to see how it truly looks, then you should look at my other tour video because it shows it in a way better way than I would show it right now. So yeah, we've got one more little area to look at before I move on to a special area, and then it will be the end of the tour, sadly, and you'll have to leave, which is fine by me. Be gone. Good riddance. I'm just joking. It's been a pleasure. This is my little village. This is my little village. So I wanted to build a little village, and so I built these 2 houses in this barn, and then I left it here for like a few months because I didn't feel inspired by it at all. So I just kind of left it here. And this is like a little miniature farm building. It's not really a farm building. It's like probably, I'm thinking it's just a guy, probably lives by himself or one other person. They homesteaders, they take care of themselves. He's got, you know, wheat for himself and anybody else that he lives with to eat. It's just a little house. And this building has been my little homestead while I've been building up the area. So I've got all my materials I've been using in here, but that is not supposed to be here, and that's not supposed to be here. It's just a little building I've been in. And this barn building I put here because I knew with the areas that I had been building surrounding this, that I was taking up a lot of space on the dirt. I was starting to have to travel pretty far, not too far, but a little bit further than normal to get mobs to spawn. And so I thought, well, let me just have a little area, even if it's small, so that mobs can spawn here just in case the surrounding areas don't have enough grass on them in the future. So I've got this, and it does spawn animals. Not as much as I would hope it would, but it still spawns them. Oh my gosh, pigs can just walk through? I thought I was really getting them with that. Oh, and this is a very recent build, and I love this build. This is an inn. So this inn has like a little bar here, so you can, like a tavern inn, so you can kind of sit down, have a drink, and then up here is the actual inn itself. So we've got a couple of rooms here. This is a big room, terrible view, but a bigger room. And this is a bigger room with a way better view. And we've got two small rooms here. So we got two cheap rooms with no windows and two more expensive rooms with windows. Just one of them has a sucky view. More expensive, but you don't get a good view. And I absolutely love this. I love the way that I did the roof. I was really trying to get into more of a medieval-esque style, and it was a little difficult for me to figure out. There's also a video about this one, so if you want to see more details about how I did this, you can go and watch that video. And I put out this little wagon out here, so it's got some materials, maybe a traveler's materials or materials for the inn itself, just materials. And over here, this pathway leads to a little river, and it goes to the market. So this river I had here for a while. I wanted this to be a little centerpiece. This waterfall's been here for a bit, and I wanted it to be a little centerpiece for this village that I wanted to build, like almost like the park is over there. And so I just had this waterfall here for so long, and I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't know what to put around it, and eventually I just came up with this idea of putting a market here. You know, everybody in the town's going to be coming over here to the market. They're going to be getting their market stuff, things that they need to pick up, or even setting up their market to sell things. And they can see the waterfall and the river, and I just think it would be adorable. So we've got this market with this very weird statue. I have no clue what this is supposed to look like. I just kind of put something together and called it a day. And we also have this. I am very happy about this. I think this looks so good. It's like little banners, and I don't know, I just think it looks amazing. So all of the trees in this area are vanilla trees that are just grown from saplings, but I wanted to do that on purpose. So before I had my own custom trees that I was making, but I wanted this area to seem a little bit more rustic, medieval, and a little bit more run down. So those trees over there, to me, they give a more manicured forest. You know, like this forest is here because it adds something to the environment. Not that this forest is here because it's been left here by the environment that has moved in. So this, even though it was placed here after all of this was built, it was still put here for the idea that they built around these items instead of building them afterward. If that makes sense. So I've got some trees around here. And I have some plans for some future little buildings over here. Not going to get too deep into that because that's for a video. And also the pathway change. This is a cute pathway. That pathway is not sustainable because of many times mentioning the fences that have to go underneath it. I'm just not going to be doing that. Sorry. Not going to be doing that. And this is a little farmhouse. So this is a little farmhouse on the hill. Little farm over here. Got some wheat growing. It's so cute. And it's also empty on the inside. Funny enough. And there's missing blocks. Okay, that was missing from last time. Very forgetful. I never remember. And this, I wanted it to get the same vibes as that one. I want to build a lot more buildings that are similar to this. Just because I wanted to get more into a stylized area that was closer to my actual home. So that's what I had going on here. And if we kept walking down here, we'd eventually get to the area where the skeleton spawner is. But that is boring, and I will not be going over there because I filled in the hole. So there's really nothing to see anyways. So my future plans for this area are to probably add stuff over here when it gets to be a bit more summertime. I want this to be a bit of a summertime area because of the beach. Add a bit more of a beach over there. I have plans of possibly leveling out that mountain right there, and of course getting rid of this mob farm. Once this mob farm is gone, I don't know what else to do. I'm also going to be building a lot more underground like rail stations to kind of take us into different places and make them a lot more efficient. But mostly I'm going to be expanding this village area. This is just what I've been working on so far. It's something that I'm feeling more inspiration for when I'm looking at it, and just building on to this whole area and how it looks and what vibe I want it to give off. And yeah, just reflecting on what I've done here, I'm very proud of all of this. I really am. I'm very proud of all that I've done here and accomplished throughout this year, and it hasn't even been a full year, and this isn't even all of what I've done. I still have to show you spawn, which I'm guessing we should go over and do that right now, shouldn't we? So this is my spawn. Technically, it's a few blocks away from spawn, but this is the spawn area, and I started to make this area around autumn, so I'm actually using a resource pack, or I guess texture pack, that changes the leaves to oak leaves and the grass to be a little bit more orange and yellow to kind of fit in with the autumn theme. You can kind of see here how a lot of the terrain is a little bit dimmer, and I really did enjoy working over in this area, but it also doesn't seem very full because a lot of my time was spent working on foliage. It is unbelievable how much time you spend working on trees. Just trees alone take up so much time. And then added onto that, I, of course, had a very inefficient mob farm at this point in time. It was inefficient for how far I was into this, and I felt like I should have had a better one. That's why I went ahead and got those mob spawners all the way over there, was because I just wasn't having a good time when it came to skeleton spawn rates. I don't know. I was getting way more zombies and creepers than I was skeletons, and I needed bone meal badly. So this is the house I built. I wanted it to be a bit Victorian in style and kind of similar to a haunted house, because this was an autumn town that I started during the start of the season and kind of the spooky time. And this, I love the way that this looks. It gives me the exact feel that I would want from a spookier, more autonomous town, and I genuinely, I really do love it. So in this house, it's a little simple house. It's got a lot of storage for when we need to use that stuff over here so that we can build, but a lot of it's empty because I was taking the storage back over when I got done over here, just because there was a lot of useful things I had over here, and I just wanted to make sure I had them here. So here's a fireplace. I hate fireplaces. They're so annoying. They really are. I have to make this big old platform just to make sure that the entire house doesn't catch on fire, and even then it's not a guarantee. So going upstairs, there is no railing, sadly. And it's not very decorated up here. I didn't spend a lot of time in here, only to really sleep and kind of like put all my storage in here. And most of the time I was not sleeping in here. I also have this attic area. I would love to at some point maybe come back and add some clutter, especially into this attic. Add a lot of clutter, a lot of, you know, just annoying stuff that will get in my way, because this whole area is so cute and I feel like it could have a lot of spooky character, but it's very empty in a way. It feels empty even though it's very full, and that might just be because there's not many buildings and there's more foliage than there is, you know, actual buildings. So that's where I would have all my stuff put up and all my storage. And this was the second thing built. I was really wanting to build a church, so I built this simple little church, and it looks ugly, and that's on purpose. I wanted it to look real simple and not very interesting at all. It gives a more weirder, creepier vibe. So during the day, this actually looks very like soulless in a way, which is interesting for a church. But during the night, it is so creepy. It's so creepy during the night, and it looks fantastic in my opinion. And with plans that I have for like future stuff, having trees back here and some more stuff on the side, like I think it looks great. Right next to the church is the graveyard, and I love this graveyard. It's very simple. There's not really a lot to it, but I wanted it to look a little bit messy. You know, there's a big old grave. Who knows whose grave that could be, but there's a ton of little smaller graves dotted all around, and I just think that it looks real nice. It's really nice. And you could see that I had a couple of plans to put up some trees and to do some stuff over here towards the end of the autumnal season. But by the time I got there, I was a bit burnt out from this place. You know, I was really not feeling the vibes anymore, and the direction just kind of changed. Another thing that I do want to note as well is how far apart all of these buildings are from one another. That's something I wanted to really emphasize, is that you're gonna have to take a walk. At this level, aside from this big old pumpkin patch here, you cannot really tell what is behind these trees. What it's behind this forest. You know, maybe if you look real closely, you can tell. If you kind of look into the insides of the forest, you could tell. When you get closer to something, you definitely can tell a lot more. But I wanted things to be hidden. I wanted them to something you had to go through. And since a lot of my ideas based off of this town for spookier and more of a autumn season were very much in the idea of it's going to be dark here, because that's kind of the vibe, you know, a dark, gloomy nighttime type of vibe. And I think that I was able to do that. I'm very proud of the fact that with as little as I have here, I was able to get the start of that, and I can't wait to expand on that in the next season. And I really do mean that. The next autumn season, I will be expanding on this. And a little something about this forest area is there's a little hidden secret. It's right here. So this hidden secret goes down into something very cool, and it took me a little bit of time, but it's what I think about when I think of this area, quite honestly. It's small, it's simple, it's not really like the most intense thing, but it just makes me so happy. So when you jump down here, you're gonna lose some of your health, and of course I'm on peaceful, so it will regain. But this is my version of the Backrooms. So it's a little liminal space that is a mini maze. I'm not really good at making mazes, so it's not that fantastic, and it's also a pretty small area. So you kind of just go in and you look around to see where can you go exactly. Once you get the lay of where you're at, I think it's pretty easy to get out. I had my family test it, so I had my sister, my brother, and my mom test this out. My mom, she took the most time, but the rest of my siblings, they did not take that long to get through the maze. So I think if you understand that there's an exit somewhere and that it's a small space, you kind of don't get twisted and turned around as much as you would normally. And this is where the exit is. So you can go down either one of these pathways and you'll find your way to the exit. It's just different areas. So if you go down here, you can totally end up going all the way back around if you just turn at the wrong point. So go down here. If you go over here, you get turned into the same intersection. So this goes back out, this goes back out. This is forward towards the exit. And this is a little spot. This is a little spot. This spot was supposed to have some glowstone, of course, but I guess I forgot it. So if you go over here, this is where you're going to find your exit. So you just climb up as you would normally, and you no-clip through a painting, and you're in a little shed, in a little house. And this little shed is in the second forest right beside the church. And I'm very proud of this little area, and I'm very proud of this like little pathway. I think it's super cute. Over here, and I definitely know these signs I'm about to show you do not have correct spelling on them. They're wrong. I can't spell for the life of me. Okay, I'm very sorry about that. But this is the pier, if you couldn't guess. And this was, I think, the first big little thing I built over here was this pier. And I wanted to kind of simulate an area of this whole area where the pathways, and you can watch these in the video when I'm making it, the pathways all turn, they all connect to each other, all of them, but they all turn towards the pier. They all direct themselves towards the pier. And that is because I wanted this area to be one of the first things that you go to when you actually come into town. I want you to be directed towards the pier. I want the pathway to guide you over. And so when it guides you over and you come over here, this in my head and my idea is a busy area. Of course it isn't, it's empty. But in my head, this is a busy area. There are boats. There's a boat. There's supposed to be more than one of them out in the water. But let's use our imaginations because I will build on this next season. It's where people, you know, it's a marketplace. It's a little marketplace. It's a pier. You have a fishing shop and a little like restaurant that you can go to and probably order some fish and chips at, you know? And I just wanted this area to kind of be a nice introduction to a very creepy town. And the reason for that is, and I explained it in the video, this is like trickery. I want you to feel like this is a cute little autonomous town when you first enter it, and then as you go into the town and discover more things about the town, it gets a lot creepier. So you kind of get fooled a little bit by the church and the creepy spooky building because you're like, oh, that's a bit spooky, but it's just an autumn town, it's autonomous. And then you have this underground like no clipping back rooms that you can just fall into, and you have to figure your way out of it. And as time were to go on, I was going to build a lot more spooky stuff, and I just never really got around to it. And the season it's kind of a quick season. So, and also as well, most of my time over here was spent doing the foliage. I didn't film a lot of it because I just thought, oh, I'll do the foliage off camera and then I can focus on the buildings on camera. But the foliage would take so long that I ended up not having the amount of time or energy in the week to be able to fit in as much as I wanted to. So this never got shown, or at least I don't think it got shown, but I had this plan because I never finished it. I was going to finish it when the fall came back around. But this ritual area, I was going to put some probably gold over here and put redstone torches instead of these torches over here as well. And this ritual area was going to lead back over here into this hole, and this hole was going to be a real big like tomb or sacrifice area. And I wanted to put like, I don't know, I wanted to put some creepy stuff in there. I always have like half an idea and I build onto it as I go. But as well, I have this area over here which I didn't get to finish because it's a very long type of waiting situation. But this farmland right here, this was going to be a farm, and there was going to be a few more farm buildings, but this farm was going to have a big farmland right in the center with the scarecrow. I just thought that would be a lot of fun, but the only way to make the farmland really work the way I wanted it to was to, of course, have fences underneath. These all have fences underneath. This is completely done. I just have to go in and put all of the farmland in, which means I'm going to have a lot of seeds, and that was just something I didn't have and I still don't have currently. I want to go over here back behind the church and show you my first house, which is in this cave system. This was the first house I ever lived in, and it's just a little cave. I just set up shop in this cave for a few days and kind of was just here figuring out how to work my ways about beta and to see what I could and couldn't do, and it's adorable. Not too far from here over this hill is the spawn point. So see right there, it's a crafting bench that I made when I glitched out, but right over there on that weird thing, that is the spawn point. So for the purposes of kind of showing you how spooky this area is, I want to go ahead and show what it looks like at night. This is what the house looks like at night. It's so spooky to me. This also is very spooky to me. This path, this tunnel, it just is one of those spooky things. There are little bits of light everywhere here and there. I try not to put it in the actual forest part because I want that to be quite dark. But along the pathways there are torches. And this is the pumpkin patch. I wanted to put a torch in the pumpkin patch just because I wanted it to light up a little bit. And I realize now I can make jack-o'-lanterns, so I don't know why I did all that. And this is what it looks like at night. So this is the type of difference that it being nighttime really gives to it, because yeah, you probably can see the stuff behind the trees and all that, but it makes it a lot more closed in and spookier for like the type of season that it's built in and the type of vibe that I wanted to give off. And especially too, the church I feel like is a lot more spookier. It could just be me, but I feel like it's a lot more spookier. Everything kind of feels closed in instead of it feeling more open. And then of course it would look a lot better with some trees, more trees around, but we do have the graveyard. I think it looks pretty spooky. Okay, everyone. That's what I've been doing. That's really what's been happening in this world. If you want to see the details of my thought processes with a lot of these builds and the details of the builds themselves, again, like I said earlier in this video, I have a playlist of all of my beta world episodes that you can watch where I go into more detail about why I built the builds or what I was thinking while building it and what types of vibes I wanted to give off whilst building them. But I think that this is a lot. This is a lot of expansion and growth for this entire world, and I don't know what I'm gonna add in this next year. I hope it's good. I hope for everybody's sake it's good. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see. I already have plans for back over there in that little medieval town. I have ideas and plans for what I want to add over there, and I'm just excited to start the new year and get everything looking cool. Hopefully. Hopefully it will look cool. I really hope it will look cool. But that's all I have for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. And as well, I hope you had a good day or a good night. If you didn't have a good day or a good night, I hope it gets better. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye!